Is this low effort? Yes, very much so. Haven't been doing that great, but I promised you guys a review of episode 3 of the Black Dagger Brotherhood, and I'm gonna give it to you. I'm eating dinner, so I hope you guys don't mind. But let's get into it. So the episode opens, and we get the first flashback of Wrath before his transition, which was very nice to see, and it did the job. It got across to pretty much that Wrath was actually pretty weak as a pre-trans, and he was on his own. And when his transition hit, Marissa came, and when she came, and he was like pretty much not delusional, but like he felt like he was hallucinating. He thought she was an angel, which was the cutest fucking thing in the world. Which also later on in the episode, well, the like scenes afterwards pissed me off, because as much as I love Wrath, the way he treated Marissa was awful. And I get he was very much in his loner phase, and like Marissa wasn't his person. Obviously Marissa wasn't his person. He felt like protecting her would be enough, but he didn't realize just how emotionally damaging he was to her. And I think like later on he realizes just how much he pretty much mistreated Marissa. Even though he didn't mean to, he still did, and he took accountability for that, and I can respect him for that. Marissa deserved so much better. She felt like something was wrong with her because Wrath didn't treat her like a shellin', and she thought that he thought that she was dirty, and like she just deserved and deserves the world, and her happily ever after is so worth it. I just hate what she has to go through to get there. But Marissa, amazing, played by this beautiful human being, awesome as always. She did an amazing job portraying Marissa, and how she had her strong moments, but Marissa was a very, I don't want to say fragile, she was a very vulnerable person. She wanted to do what she felt was her duty, what they made her believe was her duty, at the expense of herself, of her emotions, her mental health. Like, it was a tough read, and it was even tougher to watch, but she has amazing things coming to her, and I'm so excited to see it on screen. In this episode, you also see Mr. X go even harder in his recruitment, and he's gunning for Billy Idol, which really he fits the lesser demographic, or not demographic, but like characteristics that they go after for lessers. He fits them to a fucking T, right? So the fact Billy Riddle is so aggressive, and he's just evil. He's an evil person for what he tried to do to Beth. It's not the first time he did it, so he fits the lesser profile. And the recruitment, the way he took them, Billy Riddle and the other kid from the martial arts class, to the laser tag to kind of see how they interact, who's gonna do what, who's gonna be the aggressor, who's gonna be on the defense. It was very, very interesting. Like, I keep saying this, but it was interesting to see, because Mr. X was probably the only, or like from him being 4 lesser onward, he was like the most organized, the most organized 4 lesser that knew what he wanted and where he wanted the society to go. He organized them. He got them to like military grade like strategizing, and I think that's what really like really set off the war of the Lessening Society and the Brotherhood to the next level, because what happens under Mr. X as a 4 lesser is just crazy, intense, crazy. But to see him like also being a predator and watching his prey, because as much as aggressive as Billy Riddle is, he is still prey in Mr. X's eyes and in his presence, because he has no idea what he is in for, not even the slightest idea what he's in. And when Butch goes to the martial arts academy that Mr. X runs, and that interaction, he portrayed him in the way that I pictured him in the books, whereas Mr. X is just beyond fucking creepy. He is very, very off-putting. He has that aura where it's like Like you clutch your pearls and you take a step back. Although Butch doesn't, because Butch is like just a badass like that. And that interaction was, I feel, fundamental because it shows you just how Mr. X flips from when he's with the Lessening Society, because obviously he's a leader and stuff, to when he's interacting with humans and everyday people. He flips the script and he's very pleasant. He puts out a very pleasant and accepting and I just want to help aura, when in all reality he's coming off as like fucking serial killer, which, let's be for real, he is. He came off very serial killer, and the contacts and the hair, it was just, oh my god, it was so creepy, so fucking creepy. And I don't want to say Butch is crashing out over Beth, because he's not. He's just very worried for her. He cares for her. The fact that she went off with Wrath really kind of like sent him spiraling, because he is so scared because of the past trauma, and how Jose brought up that trauma was fucking awful. I love Jose de la Cruz, but how he used Butch's sister against him to try to make him see like, you can't save everybody, Beth isn't, your sister. That was fucked up. Even in the books, I was like, Jose, no, don't do that. And like Butch rightfully got upset. And then Jose and Butch's friendship is just amazing to see. Like, I talk a lot about, like, I love well-written female friendships, especially we are going to see later between Beth and Welsie. Butch and Jose's friendship is very low-key, very like Jose is the mother of the duo and Butch is very much the rebellious teen, and it's just funny to watch. It really is. Like, he literally leaves him aspirin next to his in the book it's next to his sugar bag, because he's like, I'll leave the aspirin by the sugar bowl. He's like, I don't have a sugar bowl, and he's like, well, I'll leave it next to the bag. Fucking hilarious. The chemistry between them two, amazing. And then we get to the scene where Torment goes to watch over Beth because Wrath can't do it. He has business. So like their interaction, she like is very nervous to be around somebody that huge, because these dudes are huge. But she invites him in, and like their whole start of their friendship was it was so cute. She invites him in, and like that's the first indication we get of Wrath's bonding scent. So basically it's like fated mates, if you want to talk about tropes. It's very fated mates, like soulmates, and like they give off, when they bond to their person, their soulmate, they give off this very alluring scent. And when they touch their partner, when they get intimate with their partner, they leave that scent on them, and it's a warning to other like male vampires, like they, them, they are spoken for. And of course Wrath is very like in Delulu land about marking her, but sir, you knew what you were doing, stop it. And Torment asked Beth, like, are you okay with being his? And she was very on the fence, but she liked it. So like she didn't care. Ultimately she didn't care, because she kind of in the act, she knew what he was doing subconsciously. Like she said, like she even says, she's like, I feel like I've been marked, which she did. And I love that for her. That whole thing, like he's so in denial about her, because he also like thinks, like he invites her over to the house for dinner, and he's just like, he invites her pretty much on a date, but Torment shows up when Wrath is up. Wrath in a fucking suit. When Torment shows up to talk to Wrath about it, and he sees him in a suit, like, of course, they're like best friends, they're like brothers. He kind of gives him shit about it, but Wrath is so fucking in his feelings about, he doesn't know what he wants with Beth, when he really does. He's just, once again, in fucking Delulu land about it, that they get into an argument, and they like, Torment is married to Welsie, beautiful human being right here. She's so pretty, and they literally take a chunk out of each other. Like Wrath says some pretty awful shit to him in his anger, which is per the usual for Wrath, but like, come on, bro, like that was fucked up. The way he said that maybe if he wasn't chasing around his female, that Darius wouldn't have died. That's fucked. Especially if you know the backstory between Darius and Torment. Like, that was fucked for him to say. That was so beyond wrong and fucked up. Like, crazy. And the way he was like, oh, you're pussy whipped. My favorite fucking line in that show was, nice fucking suit. Oh my god. And the actor, this amazing human being who played Torment, literally delivered that line in the best possible, like, that is exactly how I heard it in my head when I read that book, that line. Because like, Torment's literally like, how you gonna talk shit about me loving my female, loving my wife, bitch, when you're sitting here acting like you don't like you don't want Beth. And he even says, he's like, an unacknowledged weakness is dangerous. Figure out what the fuck you're doing with her before you get yourself or somebody else killed. 100% agree. Torment was in the fucking right there, and Wrath hates it. Wrath fucking hates that Torment is right. Now, onto the date itself. I felt bad for Beth because she was so excited. Like, she came in, she was like, oh, so happy. She saw him in a suit, and she was just like, wow, like, you clean up nice. And he was like, and Fritz, the adorable, adorable person, Fritz, who I would die for, literally was like, okay. Like, he was excited. He was like, okay, I'll serve the first course in like 30 minutes. And Wrath is like, no, we're gonna eat now. Don't you ever talk to Fritz like that again, Wrath. First of all, okay? Don't you ever talk to him like that again. But like, that was really unfair of Wrath. And once again, I get it, he's in his feelings and stuff, but like, you invited her here and now you're gonna treat her like shit because you and your fucking brother got in a fight. Man the fuck up and regulate your fucking emotions. It's not her fault. And like, they're having dinner and he's being really shitty towards her, and she even says like, I don't understand like why you're acting like this. You invited me here. That whole scene was also kind of funny because every time Fritz walked into the room, they stopped fighting. They acted like everything was fine because they didn't want to hurt his feelings. Good for you. Don't hurt Fritz's feelings. But it also just shows that Beth is like one of the only people who will not back down to Wrath. She will not mince words with him. She will say, you're kind of being an asshole. Why are you being an asshole? Nobody ever talks to him that way. And I think that's another reason why he's so off kilter around her, is because she treats him like a normal person. And obviously he's the king in this world, and like, everybody, I think the word is, reveres him. Like, they love him. They understand that he is royalty. Whereas Beth, like, she knows this, but she's just like, I don't give a fuck. You're not going to treat me like shit. And it's like, she's right though. Like, he invited her there. Don't take your anger out on her. It's not her fault that you and Torment had a fucking pissing match, okay? Man the fuck up. And then of course, Wrath gives in and he's just like, let me feed you. And he feeds her a strawberry. And if you know the series, well, this isn't much of a spoiler. In the vampires culture, when a male offers to feed you, it's a sign of respect. Female offers to feed a male, it's also a deep, deep sign of respect and affection. And it's just, I love when these added little things, because it adds depth to the story, because it's like, it makes them feel more real. Because they even say like, you don't understand, like, when the female that they are interested in offers to especially make them food, it's a sign of like deep intimacy to them. And like, obviously some of these guys get with humans, so like, they don't understand that and they try to explain it. It's like that's a very intimate thing between couples, whether man, woman, man, woman, although we haven't got a woman couple yet, holding out hope. But like, that was just beautiful, and that leads into most amazing scenes. And not obviously, but it's a sex scene, and it's just an iconic line in the book. And I wasn't scared that it wasn't going to be in the show, but like, it was very, very awesome to see in the show. And it's, if you know, you know, pretty much he asked Beth, like, don't you want to know what you taste like? And like, obviously it's like sexy as fuck. And he's like, peaches. After I read that, I never looked at peaches the fucking same. I love peaches. And every time I eat one, I'm like, oh, Wrath, thank you for making peaches better for me. Oh, and before Beth even like heads to the date, she's coming out of her apartment and Butch is there. Of course he is. Butch is there and he's like sees her and she's all dressed up looking gorgeous as always. And he's pretty much like, Beth, like, don't go to him. And he gets very underhanded with it, which is understandable because he doesn't want her hurt. And he's like, pretty much like, she's like, he's not dangerous. You don't understand. You don't know what's going on. And he's like, I think I got a pretty good fucking idea with his hand that was wrapped around my throat, choking the life out of me. Or don't you remember? A little manipulative, but also like, it's kind of understandable because he is scared for Beth. And it's, once again, his trauma and all that stuff. It's so heartbreaking to see Butch try to save and try to protect the people he cares about because of what happened. And it's like he can never win. You get what I'm saying? Like, he tries and tries and tries, but there's always something that he feels that is preventing him from protecting the people he wants to protect. In this instance, Beth did not need protecting, but he didn't know that. So in his brain, it's like he's failing. He's failing again. He's failing a woman that he cares about. And it's heartbreaking to watch because you just see the just anger and sadness and just the hopelessness that he is almost positive that he's going to find Beth dead. And it probably terrified him. Like, it terrifies him. And it was just, it was so sad to see. Like, I didn't think too much about that scene, but like actually seeing it on screen was just so fucking sad and so heartbreaking for Butch. But yeah, that's pretty much all that really happened in episode. Like, that's like the finer points of what happened in episode 3. I haven't watched episode 4 yet. I'm going to watch that tonight, and then I'm going to hopefully record my review tomorrow and have it up by Thursday. Guys, I'm feeling so much better. I have had the urge to record again and I'm super excited. And it's so far, once again, just super amazing. The adaptation is just so true to the book. Like, you can quote this fucking show almost word for word, and I've done it. I've sat there and I've recited it, and like, love that they did this. Like, they're so true to the story, and it just makes my heart happy because I've loved this series for fucking like 20 years. I loved it. Has it been perfect? No, but it holds such deep meaning for me because this series has seriously gotten me through some really tough times in my life. And I'm just so happy that she found a production company that will stay true to her vision, stay true to her characters, to her writing. It's so awesome. I'm so happy for her. I'm so happy for the actors. I'm so happy for everybody that's involved. I'm happy for the fans, us, because we get to experience it. But yeah, I'm sorry this wasn't too much in depth like my other reviews. Like I said, it's been a rough couple weeks. Yeah, anyways, that's all I got for you guys today, so stay awesome.